Nope, we're just driving around.
Driving around. Okay. Are you bulletproof?
Press.
Where's his badge?
He's got it on.
It's not visible, is it?
It is.
I don't see it.
It's there. Oh, under his jacket. Following?
That's what he said.
You want to see what real independent journalism funded by the people for the people looks like?
You ever heard a story like this in America?
You're looking at it.
Congratulations for always being somewhere where mainstream media is not.
Flint, Michigan.
See you in Nevada.
Thanks to people like you, we can get the truth. Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
You are the man. I'm glad you're here.
For as low as 16 cents a day, you'll keep us on the ground, covering the important stories the corporate media covers up. Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Breaking news. President Trump's stormtroopers, in this case, Border Patrol, has threatened us with arrest for the crime of covering their rampant racial profiling and terrorism. This happened this morning in Southeast Charlotte, North Carolina. Charlotte is the latest city where Border Patrol, ICE are invading and arresting immigrants and, frankly, detaining U.S. citizens, too. And our video journalist, John Farina, who deserves many awards for countless stories he has covered, was covering what Border Patrol was doing, following them from a safe distance to cover their activities, which is protected journalistic activity. He was with another photojournalist. Let me show you what happened when Border Patrol did not like the fact that journalists were covering what they're doing.
Hey. Nope, we're just driving around.
Driving around. Are you bulletproof?
Press.
Where's his badge?
He's got it on.
It's not visible, is it?
It is.
I don't see it.
It's there. Oh, under his jacket.
So he says you'll be arrested for following him?
Following?
That's what he said.
You're impeding federal operations, and if you do it again, you'll be arrested. What exactly were they impeding? How were they impeding? Doesn't matter. To be clear, journalists have been tracking, covering, which entails driving in the vicinity of ICE, Border Patrol in LA, in Chicago, in New York, because how do you show on camera what they are doing, which is 9 out of 10 times illegal, warrantless arrests, violating the Fourth Amendment without following them. Of course, our journalist, John Farina, and that other photojournalist, Pierre, were at a safe distance. They weren't interfering with anything they were doing. They were simply following them. And those Border Patrol agents threatened them with arrest, citing US 18 Code 111, assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers or employees. This is very important because this goes to, do we actually have a legal system that actually applies law? And are we literally distorting and making up the law? This says, again, 111, forcibly assaults, resists, opposes, impedes, intimidates, or interferes with any person designated in Section 1114 of this title. Section 1114 is an employee of the United States, so that would be ICE and Border Patrol, while engaged in or on account of the performance of official duties. Obviously, no assault here. There's no resisting. There's no opposing. There's no impeding. There's no intimidating, unless you want to apply that to Border Patrol trying to intimidate journalists. Then we have forcibly assaults or intimidates any person who formerly served as a person designated in Section 114 on account of the performance of official duties. So again, there's no impeding. This is Banana Republic, fake, made-up law, and they've been violating the law. And it kind of comes from the top because the president of the United States was provided criminal immunity from the Supreme Court. So he can't go to jail. So apparently everyone around him thinks they can never go to jail. And then from then it goes to the bottom, kind of like a trickle down, where ICE, Border Patrol, etc., think that they could just violate various laws, various provisions of the Constitution, etc. Don't take it from me that we did nothing wrong. I contacted an attorney, Weston Rowland. Weston has been representing journalists in the case of the LAPD violating journalists' rights by shooting at journalists in LA during the ICE raids, by pepperballing, tear gassing, firing rubber bullets, including at our journalist, Tina Desiree Berg. So Weston has been involved in that lawsuit. But I reached out to Weston. I showed him this video. Here was his statement. By pulling over a news crew that was lawfully filming them and threatening arrest if they continued, ICE agents crossed a clear constitutional line. The First Amendment protects the right of the press and the public to observe and record government officials in public without retaliation. And when officers use a traffic stop with no valid basis to shut down that coverage, they also risk violating the Fourth Amendment's ban on unreasonable seizures. This isn't just heavy-handed, it's unconstitutional. Unconstitutional. And by the way, I mean, by this very distortion of the law that these Border Patrol agents were applying, clearly because they don't want their illegal behavior followed. They don't want their law breaking and recklessness, which eventually is going to get people killed. It already has. They don't want it exposed. But by this standard, if following or filming federal agents in their duties, if that is now a crime, couldn't they have said this to the person that filmed the officer who stepped on George Floyd's neck and basically strangled him to death with their knee? Now, that wasn't a federal officer, but are we getting to that point now where that's interfering and now filming a police officer? Because they're doing this in Tennessee. There's a law in Tennessee that says you have to be 25 feet back. You can't be 25 feet within a police officer, federal agent, meaning you can't film them or be near them within that time. And apparently we're supposed to take the tape measure to make sure you're not within 25 feet. But this is putting aside that it's personal because they're doing it to us. This is how fascism grows, by essentially having secret police, stormtroopers. They get to do whatever they want. Courts don't apply, laws don't apply, and the king basically creates his own laws. This is violent and it is reckless. And it just so happens on this day, kudos to John, our reporter. And by the way, John has been all over the place. He has been in Chicago and now Charlotte for 2 months for us, as well as our reporter, JT Siskowski. This independent, on-the-ground reporting is expensive, very expensive. Full disclosure, I just looked last night. We spent $14,000 over the last 2 months. $14,000 in Chicago and now Charlotte. We are independently funded. We do not have massive banks, healthcare companies, big tech firms, defense contractors, and the oligarchs funding us. Our funding comes from you. And frankly, we need to grow, and we need to grow quicker if we're going to be able to stay on the ground. So if you have as little as $5 a month, that's 16 cents a day, we need hundreds of viewers to sign up to sustain us and help us stay on the ground, unless you're waiting for CNN to do this, or MSNBC, or whatever MSNBC's new name is, to do this, or the New York Times, or the Washington Post, or frankly, other independent outlets who aren't doing this. We are trying to show you the growing ugly face of fascism. And frankly, we're going to need more funding because we might need lawyers, and we might need to pay lawyers soon based on ICE, Border Patrol weaponizing the law against journalists. But I wanted to show you this because this ironically just came out today. This is from Press Freedom Tracker. They are tracking journalists being assaulted by police in this country and ICE. Photojournalists shot with pepper balls by state troopers at Chicago area protests. That would be our cameraman, John Farina, who was just inappropriately threatened with arrest today by Border Patrol. Photojournalist John Farina was shot multiple times with crowd control munitions by Illinois State Police while reporting on protests outside the ICE prison in Broadview, which is near Chicago. The facility where detainees are being held and processed ahead of the deportation has drawn escalating protests. Farina and journalist J.T. Siskowski, our reporter, were reporting on the news for the news outlet Status Coup, live streaming as protesters gathered, some in Halloween costumes outside the facility. Quote, "This is what it's actually like on the ground here in Chicago, as people stand up and try to resist the Trump administration right now," Siskowski said about an hour into the stream. "We're the only independent media that has been on the ground here for the last month, showing you these demonstrations that have played out in much the same way. Protesters came out. They try to demonstrate against ICE. They're met with force by not just the federal agents, but by Illinois state authorities as well." And there's another piece highlighting J.T. Siskowski, our reporter, and the fact that he was shot by similar, quote, non-lethal, less lethal. By the way, you get shot with pepper balls, stun grenades. It could do a lot of damage if you're shot point blank range. Again, I want to point out, I'll take the glasses off. You can see the bags because I'm not sleeping. I got a 6-month-old that will not sleep. There is no other outlet doing this work. I understand times are tough. I understand for most people watching, your budget is squeezed between groceries, rent, utilities, healthcare, car, mortgage. I get it. If you cannot support us financially, no shame. But I think there's a lot of people watching right now that do have as little as $5 a month, 16 cents a day for actual living, breathing, on the ground justice journalism. I am not beyond begging you, the proletariat. We are in really dark times, and we have stormtroopers going around threatening journalists, shooting at journalists, assaulting veterans, assaulting immigrants, kidnapping immigrants, detaining and kidnapping U.S. citizens. This is not a test. This is not a drill. I also want to show you Chief Stormtrooper Greg Bavino, head of the Border Patrol, as maybe unknowingly, he basically acknowledged that they are going around arresting people without knowing that they are criminals or having no idea whether they are criminals. Listen to him on state TV, Fox News, as the anchor plays a clip of North Carolina governor basically stating that they're just Border Patrol is just rounding up landscapers, putting up Christmas trees.
We've seen masked, heavily armed agents in paramilitary garb driving unmarked cars, targeting American citizens based on their skin color, racially profiling and picking up random people in parking lots and off of our sidewalks, going after landscapers simply decorating a Christmas tree in someone's front yard, and entering churches and stores to grab people.
But what do you say to the governor?
John, again, almost everything he said is a lie. Those individuals hanging Christmas lights, how does that governor know what the criminal record is of that individual hanging Christmas lights? Oftentimes we find these so-called hard workers have significant criminal history, such as child rape.
He just admitted by saying, how does that governor know what the Christmas tree hangers criminal record is? He doesn't know either. And his stooges don't know either because they're not actually targeting criminals. They're just yanking any brown person they could find.
All these cars, I am for one person, for one. They didn't do shit.
Arrest first, ask questions later. This is not just racial profiling, it's racial profiling on steroids. He doesn't know, they don't know who they are detaining if they are criminals. And they're not looking for criminals, they're looking for brown people. And MAGA, just to be clear, if you're watching MAGA, all of this chaos, all of this law breaking, all of this blatant illegal behavior is happening as the U.S. economy is falling off a cliff. But the biggest crisis for you is brown people, immigrants hanging up Christmas trees, landscapers, this is what keeps you up at night? Not the fact that U.S. grocery prices have hit a record high. The monthly cost for a family of 4 is now $1,030. But the brown landscaper. Once again, support us if you can. StatusCoup.com/join, as low as $5 a month, 16 cents a day. You could also donate. That's StatusCoup.com/donate. Keep justice journalism alive and funded.